Okay, we're back. We're on segment 2 here. We're talking about diminished. We're just going to go down this chart with the rows to cover diminished real fast, compared to like the hour that I spent on this chart 3 weeks ago, last month, whatever. We'll just chart ourselves up, because I seem to be on hitting a plane, and I don't want to just keep on pushing on the last chart that we did was 110 and 111, because it's very interesting. But you know something? A year ago, the stuff that I find easy now, I found difficult, and I messed it up a lot. And now there's no problem at all, especially explaining it to someone else. So I don't want to rush through the new topics. We can kind of crop up uh, some topics we've covered in the last month. So how to make a diminished chord. Here's the derivation of a diminished. Let's say we got an E-shaped box here, right? This is it. Now this box is extra long because the E box is really going to be just this, right? You see the length of this banner here, E cross A cross C. That's all this box is going to be. That is the E box. But why is the box this big? Okay, and the reason why that is because we're adding the diminished notes. There's different ways to get that diminished. One thing you can do to get a diminished chord is just drop every scale note one scale member. That doesn't mean chromatically, it means one scale member. So if you're dropping a G to an F, it's going to, in the key of C, say all white keys, right? It's going to be a whole step. If you're dropping an F one scale member, it will go a half step to the E, right? That's one way to do it. So let's look at our E shape, our basic E shape. C, I guess, would be the root. Okay, so that would be up here for me. It'd be 5 root 3. Okay, that's the basic E shape right there. The easiest thing you can do is drop each one of them once, and it's going to sound like this. It's going to be like, then it's going to be just dropping each one of them once. Okay, so the E goes down a whole step, the C goes down a half step, and the G goes down a whole step. So instead of, we get, okay, so we get this thing that's shaped almost like a minor chord. So that's one way to derive and it's an in-modal derivation. In other words, you're starting with something in the mode here. You're starting with something in the mode. I can't seem to get that. Yeah, that's a little flat, that string. And you're dropping that in the mode. So you're not doing anything like this would say. Root, the rule says on this particular fretboard, 5 root 3, we're going to go, instead of an E major shaped root, we're going to go E minor. Okay, it's going to be from the 7th. So here's your root, here's the 7. Okay, that's just, right? But that, wow, we're getting some boomers all of a sudden. We were supposed to have a nice evening. This particular, it's going to be a second inversion, 7th half diminished. So we've got our 7. We're going to need this E minor. Okay, so we're going to basically have an E minor shape. I guess the only way to do this is this way. This is what we're going to have. Here is our E minor shape, right? There. So that's E minor. So we've dropped this. This is let's change colors. Princess, stop pacing, please. My dog is pacing. Stop pacing. Here's the original E here. And we're going to drop it to an E minor, which will go to here. This is your E minor, but now we want -5. Now remember, this was the 5th. So the relative, now anytime you see a -5 on like a chord, like on a chord, you know, a chord chart chord, this is the chord C7. That 7 is relative to that C. Even if that C is the 4th of G. You say the song is in the key of G, but it says C7. That 7, if it's written as a chord, is relative to this chord. That's the only time you'll see me using numbers that are not relative to the key, the home key of the song. So it's going to be -5. So we have to get rid of this one and go -5 here. Okay, so that's what's it going to be. It's going to be, now I'm mixed up. So we're going to drop this to -5 here. Whoop. Let's get the drawing tool back up. Alright, so we've got the E minor that we drew. Certainly we've got this guy, I hope. Alright, the 3 is going to go to the 2. This was major. Now we're going down a whole step. Okay, so now we have the E minor is actually going to sound like this before we drop the 5th. It's going to be a B minor. Okay, and if you build the intervals on a B minor, that's what you get. That's what you get. What do you get? In second inversion B minor, you'd start on F sharp there, go to the 7th, and on a major, on a 4th rather, perfect 4th, straight up. And then a minor 3rd, still in the unwarped bottom 4 strings. It's right there. But it's saying, no, do a -5 on that. So that's how we get the 4. And it's going to be 4, 7, 2. That's the one, first way to, that's what all of this is. It's same thing in A minor shaped over here. We've got an A shape root here, 5, root 3. We're going to drop the root to a 7. We're going to do an A minor shape, which would be F sharp, 7, and 2, and then we're going to drop that F sharp, which is the 5th of the B minor. And this is an out of mode method. That's why I don't like it. And you know, we drop that to the 4, and we essentially get an A minor shaped -5. Remember, the A minor shape would be like this. Your A minor shape would be like this, right? That'd be your A minor shape. No, I think it's 3/6R like that. No, it's A major, sorry. A major, we're up here with A major. Okay, then the A minor shape would be, so that's our A major. The A minor shape would initially be like this. That's an A minor shape B minor with an F sharp. And then we just minus the 5 in that A minor,